episode 5 of Pink Flags. Today's topic is perspective. How to know what you think, how to know what's right for you and who's right for you. Because a lot of times, like you look at people and you think like, that guy is so hot. Why is he with her? Because they think the same. It's not about any particular physical attribute. They think the same. They have the same lineup. Again, it's like one of those, like the Bible says, unequal yoke. Like you can't be with someone who has unequal yoke. It's similar to like not having the same perspective. Again, like a pink flag is a microaggression. So by these little moments, we're like, we don't think the same. You're sitting in a restaurant, you're having a nice meal with this person, and then like they go to pay the bill and they don't tip. And it's like, oh, you can tip the waiter. Oh, no, I don't, because they get paid by the restaurant. That's not necessarily true. They live on their tips. They get paid, but they live on their tips. And to me, that was like absolute deal breaker. You will never see me again. I worked in restaurants, I waited tables. You will never see me again.
Well, let's get into it because I agree.
Yeah. I mean, who among us has not had to, at least for a little while, work in the service industry? Mm-hmm. And the restaurants pay you shitty money, and you live on your tip. So for me, it was like an absolute deal breaker. It wasn't even a thing. There's other perspective, point of view deal breakers. Like I would never go out with a Trump supporter. I don't give a fuck if you're gonna put a diamond bracelet on my pillow every motherfucking day, along with those candy chocolate covered mints. I don't care. You like Trump, well, not for me. And the whole lineup, the whole lineup. If you think January 6th was some kind of Photoshop incident, no, go away. Actually, don't even hang on. You know what? Disconnect now. This isn't the podcast for you. Anyway. But we had a little dust up when we were planning the meeting earlier. Somebody sent a breastfeeding picture. As someone who did that for a while, I don't find it sexual, but lots of people do. Tell me if you think that it is a sexual thing. I mean, I don't. I saw a baby who just been fed by an exhausted mother.
Right.
I did not see anything sexual about it. A fat, content baby and an absolutely shot to pieces mother. That's what I saw.
So it's also the context. It's also the context that you send the picture. It may be an innocent picture, but it's also the context. If you're trying to flirt with this guy, or if that guy's trying to flirt with you, and I'm sorry, if you're not my woman and you showing me your titties, it's sexual.
Hold up. Yes. Flag on the play.
Go ahead. Come with
if you are flirting, why would you send a flirting picture with your titty in your baby's mouth. That is not.
Listen,
That's not.
you don't know what turns on.
Wait. You can wait until your baby has finished eating. That's such a sacred moment between you and your baby.
Right, that was
Why
sacred for
the
you.
hell are you sending a picture
Her
of
titties were
you
not looking pretty.
breastfeeding your
They were not
baby?
looking plump. They were not looking attractive. Her titties were looking empty and wasted.
But listen.
Empty and wasted.
It depends on the situation. Like I said,
Bro, don't disappoint me. Let's hear it.
I'm saying that ain't turning me on. But I'm saying what may not turn me on may turn someone else on. I don't know.
No one can count for fetishes, and that
Right.
is a perspective thing.
Right.
Because there are people that watch videos of women with like a horsey tail attached to a butt plug prancing around on all fours.
Yes.
That's not sexy either.
That's
But
not sexy for us.
that is awesome.
At all.
And there's people that get turned on by people walking around in diapers. What grown man want to see a woman in diapers? Or what grown woman wants to see a man in diapers?
There's an entire Pornhub subsection.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You have, so to each his own. I'm just saying it's all within the perspective of how you see things.
So, guys, we were at our meeting, and I want to bring this up to the forefront. At our meeting, we was discussing perspectives, guys versus girls, and what certain things, like, you know, how women see things versus how men see things. And we brought up the perspective of, if you are living with somebody, if you're dating someone for 6, 7, 8 years, and there has not been no growth, but y'all dating, no moving, no nothing, should you stay? Should you go? Is he playing with you? What is your perspective on that? Let's go, JJ. Welcome back, by the way. Everybody, welcome back.
Welcome back, JJ.
Welcome back.
All right. So I have this saying that my value as a woman doesn't decrease just because your perspective of me isn't accurate, right? I'm really big on that. And so I think that for a man, first of all, I really wish I had parents who were like, my daughter's not shacking up with nobody before she get married. Unfortunately, I don't have parents like that. Because
Really?
no, I don't. I don't know. My parents.
No, I'm saying you really wish you had parents who set those ground rules from the beginning.
Yeah,
no shack.
I really wish my parents were those parents.
It was a disaster.
I wish my parents were like they were structured. They were on me and my brother, like no games. You know what I mean? But when it came down to relationships, I wish that they would have implemented more of a structure on that sense or in that area. You know, because I feel like I maybe wouldn't have to be so my brother, like as an adult and trying to figure like out. Yeah, but for me, I think that if you're with him and he's living with you, and there is no, I'm sorry, I hear that?
Yeah.
Where's that coming from?
I don't know. It's an echo.
Yeah. I thought it was going to oh, that's really loud. So if I'm with a guy and we're together 8 years and there's no growth or there's no nothing, first of all, why am I waiting 8 years? That's one. Secondly, I think a man knows what he wants to do with that woman if he knows like she's the one. You know what I mean? And vice versa. Like, you could be with somebody for like 10 years and never do anything. You break up, you meet somebody, and in 6 months, you're like doing everything that you anticipated to do with that person in 10 years. It's just a matter of just like knowing what you want and knowing who you want it with.
Yeah, absolutely. And that happens all the time. It's usually like your great love is after your great mistake.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
You learn from that like big mistake that you think that you love. You learn a lot about what you're gonna like. We were talking about this guy that I was supposed to marry in 2012. It turned out to be like a rolling mama's boy, like just a tragic mistake. Anyway, like he just was not aligned. He was not for me. Like he wanted sex like 3 times a month. I want sex like 3 times a weekend. I don't know. I was like,
You get it while you can, boo.
I will be the 80-year-old woman gumming this man to death. Like I'm not even going to be proud about it. Like I thought, no, that's who I am. And he was like, I would go over and cook dinner for like his friends and family when they were coming over, but I would invite him to come to my spot because I was having family over. And he'd like drop by for 15 minutes. Hey, how you doing? And oh, like, do you want to, we're going to go visit this one, that one. No, I can't go. No, I don't want that from a man. Like, I don't want that from a man. And he was like, oh, but I want to marry you. But I don't marry you. I don't want this for the rest of my life. Just because you want to marry me doesn't mean that I want you to be my husband. I don't want to be shackled to this asshole for the rest of my life.
Wise.
Yes.
I need to know from a man.
Please.
Are you making a woman wait for 6 years, 5 years before you wait? I want to let the audience know my brother's icebox.
No.
He has an icebox where his heart
He's
used
all
to be.
smushy in the middle.
So
Don't believe it. He's not icebox.
Yes, I am. But it's cool.
He owned it.
he owns it. He's been owning that for years. So I need to know, okay, if a man is making you wait, a man has not made a decision that you are the one. But see, my brother used to be my brother's icebox, but he also was a married man, has a beautiful family. So, I want to know, how long did you wait before you knew that your ex-wife was the one? He's so annoying.
When she told you to shit or get off the pot, that's when you knew.
Basically. Well, with her, I knew pretty quick. Like, by our second date, I knew what was up with her. Really? Yes. Let me tell you, you know how your brother is. We went out on a date, and I'm a funny dude, so
my niece is on. She said, "That's my cue to exit." She said, "I don't want to hear no parts of this."
So,
is that your daughter?
Yes, his daughter.
On my date.
Listen, keep it PG for my niece.
No, it's gonna be PG. It's gonna be grown. She almost as old as you, so she all right.
She don't want to hear that though. You see her in the comments.
But listen, we went out.
Okay.
And I thought I forgot my wallet, and she was like, "Yo, don't worry about nothing. I got this. Whatever." She was on point. She wasn't about no BS. I went back to the car, found the wallet, wound up spending like $60 for a damn teddy bear, trying to win, and we was vibing. So it was all on point. But my thing with that is, if a person is interested in you, man, woman, or whatever, they know right away. You don't have to wait 9 or 10 years to understand if you care or you want to be with someone. I'm sorry. If it may sound far-fetched, but you could meet somebody on Monday and know by the next Monday if you want to continue to be with them. So if you,
I agree with that. If you
vibing, if you not, now I'm not going to say it's smart to like jump into a serious relationship after a week. But if you know that you're vibing with this person and you're connecting, you know you don't have to wait. Some of the best relationships I know were people that got together, they dated for like a month or two, and now they're married 25, 30 years. Then I know people that been together 9 or 10 years, broke up, got back together, broke up, got back together, got married, and now they're divorced. So people know what they want to do. It's just comfort. If I almost said the female thing. If I have a young lady that I'm dealing with and she does everything I want, I can get the ass anytime I want. I don't got to worry about nothing else. And she's there. I go out and do whatever I want to do. And she doesn't care. Like, of course, I'm gonna just chill. Like, why do I have to do anything else? So if you're not setting standards for a man, he don't have to do anything for you. You set the standards of how a person treats you. That's always been our conversation. People treat you the way you allow them to treat you. So you set that standard. If you're a lady that allows this guy to run over you, of course he's gonna run over you. And if you're a guy and you allow this woman to run over you, he's gonna do the same. So you have to set the standards for the person you deal with.
I agree with that. Somebody said facts have a wise.
and this is the one thing that I learned. A really good man will even up it. Will try to always exceed your expectations to keep you feeling like, wow, maybe I didn't know what I deserved. Now I deserve more and more and more. Like one of the best things I said to Dave one time, I'm like, if you buy me any more pocketbooks, you're going to have to get me a new closet. So he got me a new closet.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
That was like game changer. Now I have nothing but like a whole closet for pocketbooks and shoes.
But he wanted to show you how he saw you. He knew that would make you happy. And he went above and beyond to make sure you're happy. And that's, to me, that's what a relationship is about. It's like people always used to say happy wife, happy life. No, it should be happy couple, happy life. Both of us should be happy, because if you're happy and I'm miserable, that just doesn't work.
Oh no, my favorite saying in the world is love is a world of yes.
Yes, she did say that yesterday.
She said that. Yes, she said. I don't know if I agree with that, but she did.
Love is a world of yes, because the minute you start telling your partner, I don't want to cook, I don't want to fuck, I don't want to pay a bill, I don't want to go here, I don't want to see your friends, I don't want to work. Boom, 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 boom.
I can agree with that. Yeah. When she prefaced it like that, because then you start to like, what the hell? Like, you start to think like, what? Okay, so you don't want to cook. You was cooking when we was dating. You was doing this when, you know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden, now you're not doing it, and it becomes a problem. I agree with that.
Yeah, because like when you're dating somebody, they walk into your spot, you got like a drink. You're wearing something slinky. You got the shoes. You got the beat face. And now you're married a couple of years. They come home, you're in the fucking fuzzy slippers, and your hair still is like, you still got bedhead.
Bedhead, not bedhead, not bedhead.
not the good way. Like like you got the ponytail. Yeah, not in a good way. Not like the
what the fuck.
Don't do that. That was one of the, like, my parents were my dad is a difficult man. My parents were very happily married for almost 50 years until my mom died.
Hold on.
My mom had the best advice.
1 second.
Your
We're
speaker
having
sounds crazy
issues.
right now.
You just sounded like a robot.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you let's turn it down or something? We got to do something because you sounded like.
Another, yeah, you came from another dimension.
Yeah. You
No.
She's Mrs. Roboto.
Do everyone sound like that, or is it just Barbara?
Are we good?
Just Madam Barbara.
Go, Jazz.
Okay. Hey. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Jasmine was like, "What the holy hell?"
It was on my face. I have a yeah. Everything shows on my face. I was like,
Okay. I think we're okay.
Nope.
No.
Jasmine, should you come out and come back in?
yeah, I think she should come back in.
Barbara, go out and come back in and see what happens.
Ooh.
We having technical difficulties. Excuse us. That was another dimension.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Okay, we're back.
Yo, me your face.
Huh?
Yo, me and Sean's face went like.
What's going on? All right, everybody turn their mic down. Let's see if that works.
I'm gonna mute myself.
All right, we all gonna mute ourselves and then you talk, Barbara. Let's see what happens.
Is it better now? No. I'm gonna remove my microphone. All right, this is not good.
It sounded like water got into your mic. That's what it sounded like.
Maybe one.
Wait, do you have your mic on your laptop? No. Is your mic detachable?
Wow. Now you sound perfect. Wise talk. Wise talk.
How do I sound?
You get on my nerve. Barbara, talk. Unmute yourself and see what happens. You're muted.
Is it better?
Yes. Correct.
Gang gang.
And she's back.
No, I can't hear you.
Wait, you can't hear none of us talk?
You can't hear us? All right, we're gonna have to keep going. Barbara, keep trying to fix it, and we'll tell you yes or no, but we're gonna have to keep trying to push forward with this conversation. Barbara, you fix it and you keep coming in and do a little quick test, and then we'll just get it going.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Miss Shawn. We'll go. Jay.
All right, what was
Who's
he
gonna
saying?
say, Jay?
So I was gonna say that yes, consistency is great. Like I love me a dude who's consistent. Like be consistent in the beginning, all the way up until
Middle end till we die.
Yeah, to infinity, right? My thing is, if you're consistent, I'm like as a woman, I'm a nurturer naturally, so like I'm gonna take care of you, right? But I need to know, like, are you even worth me taking? Like, are you even worth that? Because that's a natural instinct for me to do off rip, right? But if you're not consistent, then I mean, I just don't think that like what kind of effort am I putting into that if there is no follow-up behind that, right? And I also think in connection to being consistent, it's really not my responsibility to make you happy. I don't know where we thought that like if we get into a relationship, oh yeah, that person's gonna make me happy. That's not my responsibility whatsoever. Like you are already supposed to be happy and fulfilled within yourself as an individual off rip, right? Because when you're happy with yourself, right? So you know how Barbara said like love is a language or a thing of yes. So is happiness. I have shoes right? Every single day, right? I'm not saying all day because all day you're not going to be happy because shit happens. But, you know, you have to choose, okay, so what am I doing to make myself happy? And then once I have this quote, right? And my favorite quote says, fill your cup up so much, right? That whatever's overflowing, you give to them, but what's inside of yours is yours to keep. Meaning that, like, if you keep filling your cup up,
He's frozen. Barbara, you're muted. You was, you was frozen, Jasmine.
no, we are frozen.
We had every technical difficulty this week, which is fun.
We apologize for that.
Well, in my perspective, shit happened. So
Yeah,
Right. Pretty damn much.
that's
Shit
the
happened.
thing.
Are we back?
yes,
We're back.
I'm the only one that was frozen?
yes.
You was
You were
frozen just
frozen,
now.
you know.
Ay, bendito. Okay, it's fine. All right. Well, I don't know what was the last thing you guys heard, so I'm just gonna whatever.
You
Hey,
said
your cup
about
overflowed
overflowing the
and
cup
whatever's
and
left
Oh
is
yeah. Yeah. So like whatever's like overflowing is theirs, but what's inside is yours to keep. And I'm a really big believer in that. Like I cannot make anybody happy because, to be honest though, I don't care to make anybody happy. I just don't. Like that's extra energy in me trying to make you happy all the time when you're not already happy. Now I could add to your happiness. I could do that. I can add to that, right? So if you're already a happy individual, right, in your state of mind and internally who you are as a person, if you are content, you are fulfilled, then I can add to that because I already come with something. I
You
already
can
come to the
complete.
table. Yeah, I come to the table whole. So
Yeah.
like I'm not afraid to eat alone if you're not gonna eat with me. That's okay. If you leave, I'ma still be okay.
But you know what I think? I think, in my perspective, when we were younger, we were taught like you get married, you get this house, you get this thing, and like as girls, I feel like we were taught we're supposed to the end of the
The
end of
be all, end
everything.
all.
Right, is to get married, and that's when you are fulfilled and you're happy, you're everything.
They lied.
Yeah, of course they did, but that's what. but that's what we were taught. That's what society says as little girls, as women. You're supposed to go to school, graduate, and get a job, and get a husband, and have 2.5 kids, and a white picket fence, and all of this other stuff. And it's like, and that's supposed to make you happy.
And every meal is supposed to have nutritional value, look good on the plate, be tasty. Your house is supposed to look like a fucking magazine.
Yes,
You
yes,
are supposed to look like a fucking magazine.
yes. There's this. Let me tell you, lately, there's this TikTok. I love TikTok. There's this TikTok that has this thing, this guy. There's these guys that are doing this TikTok that says, I love when a woman can slay one day and then she looks like all of us right now and look homeless the next. Like, and that is me at the time. Like, I'm not looking beautiful all the time. I'm not doing none of that. Like, first of all, Kevin would wonder what the heck is wrong with me that I'm walking around, prancing around, looking beautiful all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm
You have
not.
a side piece.
Right.
You look beautiful every day.
Right. Like, that's not realistic. Like, because one, you know, when you're adulting, let's talk about when you're adulting.
Adulting is messy.
It's tiring.
Mm.
Like, it's just
I'm over adulting.
right. It's
You got
trash.
a long way to go, honey. You got a long way to go. Wait until
Wait. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. I know I may be 26, but JJ been through some things, but I feel you.
Right. It's
when I was 26, I was
wait till
married
36.
with 2 kids, had a house, worked for a brokerage. Like, I was super little creature. And no, please, no shade at all. But it's And then I just had to keep on adulting.
Right.
And it throws these new challenges at you all the time. Like now I'm postmenopausal and I gotta get Brazilian waxes because like friggin' pubes are like airline cables. No one tells you this shit.
No one told me my credit.
No one tells you about none of this.
After you have a baby, that shocked the fucking shit out of me.
No, and let me tell you something. When you have a baby, it shows your differences with your man. You are, and correct me if I'm wrong, wise and Robert.
Breastfeeding photo because that's what they see.
It shows you your differences in your relationship. When you have a baby, your relationship also, I feel like, takes a hit because it's like no one tells you, like, you're gonna be up rocking the baby and your man is gonna be.
Hold up, boys. Don't
I knew you were gonna say something. Let's go.
Don't say that.
I said that specifically. So
I knew that. I know you tried to poke me, but at the end of the day, some of us men are right there doing everything with the baby and on point. Now, like I told you in the last episode, like when you have a baby and you're young, like I was, it's a lot of stuff as a man that we don't get. So that's why I'm happy now. Like my older sons have kids now. So I could put them up on what I didn't know. Because I didn't have that male figure there to tell me, like, well, it's going to be this way. It's going to, like you said, when you have the baby, I expected her to be running around and do everything, swinging off the chandeliers and all that wild shit that we used to do. Now, when you're like,
tomorrow, I give you permission to leave now.
Well, like when you're tired, when you're saying I'm tired and different things. Now we're looking like, hold up, what? But I'm not tired. Right.
Why are you tired?
Right. So people have to learn each other. It's a lot to it. So youth plays a lot into certain things, even though that's not an excuse. But I'm saying you have to find your way with certain things and hope you have the right circle around you that would help you. Like I know you have your girls that y'all have y'all chats and I feel like I'm in some Oprah Winfrey novel when I'm listening to y'all or something, but it's that's good though because you build each other up and you help each other get ready for what's coming.
But you ready for this perspective?
Go for it.
Sean.
I feel like, to piggyback off of what you said, yes, I have girls that I look up to and they talk and we talk about things, but I also feel like I also look to my brothers. You know why? Because I feel like men's advice and their perspective is not emotion-based. A lot of women will say, no, I am every woman. I'm thinking, me and my sisters, we're going to work this out, whatever. But I really feel like men's advice and it's not emotion-based. I think you can ask your girl, let me tell you, my man have been acting up. And if her man is acting up, she's not going to give you good advice. Like, I feel like she's going to give you advice based off of what she's feeling at that moment.
She's going to give you advice because her man is acting up.
I think her advice won't be biased. That's why people say when you're married, you get married people advice. When you're, you know what I'm saying? Like they feel like you shouldn't. Some people think that when you're married, you shouldn't go to your single friend and ask your single friend for advice about what's going on in your marriage. Because nothing's good is going to come out of that advice because they only can tell you advice on a single person's level.
I ain't even talking about my marriage to you. Like, what you mean? Like,
but see, I remember
the opposite happens when you're divorced.
Right.
When you announce that you're getting divorced, your married friends are like fucking rats on a ship.
I love fun
I
times with y'all.
don't even. You know what? If you were my friend when I was married and you're not my friend anymore, please don't take it personal. Even if you know you did it, it's all good now because I'm living everyone's best life. But
I know
anyway,
that's right.
it's you know, one day I'm married. Everyone knows my marriage is shit and could end in any 5-second period. But when it did, my friends just dissolved.
It'd be like that.
Really?
Sometimes people like to say,
No, don't get me wrong. A couple stuck around.
Your married friends dissolve?
Yeah.
But see, that's what I'm saying.
yeah, because you're not a
they're
trophy wife no more. There's no show to watch.
exactly.
I think that they were watching the show. It's like standing on the corner waiting for the bus to hit the fucking taxi.
That's the thing, though. If there's no more show, why am I going to be an audience to the show if the show has ended? I want to go to see another show. I want to see where the glittery is at because there's no more gold that's producing in this situation. I was married at 22.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen me do comedy. And you've seen me like I was married from 18 to 42. It's like a toddler and you hand them a 20 and say, "Here, have a good life, motherfucker." Because you don't know what to do. You were doing the mommy and daddy show for your entire adult life.
right.
And that's a perspective too. And it was like one of the things, like Dave didn't get married till he was like in his mid-30s. He did everything. And now I'm kind of like, here we are. And he's amazing, wonderful, beautiful, everything. But I'm kind of like, I want to do the stuff now that you did when you were in your 20s. I never went to this. I never went to music festivals. I never had like long, hopeless weekends. I was like the lady with the empty tit with the baby. That was my 20s.
The empty tit. I want you to stop calling her tit empty.
But let me tell you.
Yeah. And that's perspective because we had other things that we could work with.
Mm-hmm.
And perspective didn't particularly touch that. But somebody else could have said, like, no. She wants to live like a 20-something. And I want to live like a grown-up. Like, I never wanted to date anybody who was a grandfather because I don't give a fuck about your grandkids.
But the thing is, if those people were your friends, if they were your friends, they would be there whether you were divorced, together or not. Like, I have friends that broke up with each other and I'm still cool with both of them because they were truly friends. But some people just there, like they said, for the show, just they're not sincere. It's like people you work with. They smile in your face all day, and then as soon as you walk away, they're like, "Oh, that bitch this." So so it's all the fakeness, and it's not real. So it's like that a lot of times with friends. They come around for what you have at that moment, and then when it's done, they disappear. And I welcome that because then like they're not real anyway. So bye.
When people would show me what they would rather do, I'm okay with that. When my parents divorced when I was 12, my dad later on in life told me, he said, I was not fighting for my marriage because of you guys. Like, I wasn't going to be in this marriage I wasn't going to save it for my kids. And that let me know nobody gives a fuck about you, yo. Like, people would do whatever they want to do because it's how they feel.
But I told my kids that I stayed in my marriage because
my dad was like, I ain't staying in this marriage.
And now they hate me. They hate me because they think I gave up. It's been 15 years. You might think they'd be over it, but they not.
I want them to get over it because that's retarded.
Well, let me tell you, with something like that, like it's funny, and Sean and a lot of people laugh at this, but like I said, my ex-wife is like my best friend. Like that's my ride or die, and she'll tell anybody
Yeah,
She'll tell
yeah.
anybody like, "Yo, he got me," and I have her.
So why
And
you telling her? Like, what's
what
up?
happened?
So why y'all not together? What's up?
We're not together because I was young and stupid.
They were really young when they got married. They were really young.
And like I said, at that time, I didn't see things the way an adult wise sees things now. You know, so little petty things I would look at and be like, so now I would have had the conversation. And me and my ex-wife are like kind of the same. We have that same mentality. So neither one of us like drama. We're not gonna sit there and argue. So I feel we were together, married for like many years and never had an argument.
Wow.
Something is
I
wrong.
forgot you said that.
Right. Something is wrong if you never have an argument.
Something is wrong.
Right. We
That's
never
wrong.
argued. Until we were divorced. After we were divorced, we did argue a little bit. And not even a lot then. But I'm not, like I always say, you don't have to have a disrespectful, knockdown, drag out, cursing each other out type argument. But you're gonna have disagreements. So
Yes.
we never had that discussion.
You need that knockdown, drag out, because the sex afterwards is epic.
See?
Listen, I don't need that for the sex to be good. The sex is gonna be good anyway.
Well, have you ever experienced that?
What, angry sex?
That's why you saying that.
No. I don't brag on myself.
That's all right.
But
Yes, you do. In this department, yes,
but
you do.
it's good. Trust me.
I feel you. Lock and key.
But the whole thing is, I just feel it always should be that aggression. Anytime
But you don't think it intensifies when you're mad, and then it's like, you know what, you make me sick, but I love you, and you just get it in. Like you don't think that?
Nah.
Wow.
I know it's drama. Like, I know it's drama, and it should only happen very, very rarely. But you get that feeling like,
What's the feeling?
feeling? This is so worth saving.
Right? You motherfucker.
You motherfucker.
All right. My thing is with that, right?
I'm listening.
I have that intensity all the time anyway. So it's like
In a quickie, bro. Like, really? You that intense?
In a quickie, I'm trying to give you 100.
And a quickie is just a nod. You're not thinking about anything else.
You know who you're talking to, Sean. You know who you're talking to. So even
who I'm talking to.
In that instant, I'm always thinking, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna give you 100. You ain't ever gonna be able to say I was whack. Never.
Tamara said,
"Oh my God, Tamara!"
Tamara said, "Dad, relax. Her ears are bleeding. We're gonna have to sew her ears back on after the show."
But no, it's real. I'm just saying, like, you should always have that passion.
Your brother said, "Why angry sex is the best."
I'm saying you should always have that passion anyway.
Not all the time. No, I'm sorry. Listen, I don't know.
Tamara said you think you a Dawn.
Tamara to be a guest.
Yeah, we should.
No, keep her home.
Carol, listen. Yes, I'm Latina. I have passion off rip. Come on, like that. I'm Boricua all day, right? Mm-hmm. But when you piss me off and you know that you fucked up, you piss me off, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like I'm looking at you like, don't talk to me, don't look at me, don't even breathe the same air I'm breathing. And it's like you trying to grab me up from behind. I'm like, no, get off me. But I secretly like this. I'm like, oh, we about to get it in. Okay.
Honey.
It's you grab me. I'm like, no, get off me. You grabbing me again. Get off me. And you pull my hand. I'm like, hi, motherfucker. Now we going in. Yeah, I like that shit. Yeah, go ahead. pull it, do all that. Yeah. I'm gonna show you how much you pissed me off, but it's gonna feel so good at the end because all that aggression's just gonna come out. Like I'd rather do that than curse you out and put hands on you. 100%.
Did she just say put hands on you?
You're like a steaming
She
cup
said
of
she's
love.
Latina. You forgot?
No,
They won't touch you.
there has been a situation where I was with a guy. I was 22, the guy I was married to, and he was physically abusive, and I couldn't take it no more. And one day, I knocked him out. I said, I don't know who you think this is,
Like,
but
night,
what
night,
I'm gonna
like
do?
you going night, night, nigga? That?
Night. Like I don't know what you think this is, but you about to go to sleep for a little bit. Put you on like that anesthesia without the needle, like that.
Well, let's drink to her knocking people
Yes,
out. Let's
yes.
drink to that.
I just got tired of like drinking.
Physical, you put your hands on me. Let's drink till she knocked him out.
That's right. But see, I understand what you guys are saying. I understand that. Been there, did that. But I just
Kevin said,
feel,
"Well, damn."
I just feel like
It's true.
I'm like that anyway. So, and Sean to tell you, I'm the dude. If you was like, don't touch me, get away. I'm like, peace, bye.
See, I can't rock with you.
That's
Really? You wouldn't be able to rock. I know
You
that.
making her mad, right?
I'm mad. You grab me up. I'm mad. I want you to.
And I know that. That's why I wouldn't do it.
Nah, you
What?
too basic for me, bro. I can't do it.
JJ, I told you he have an ice box where his heart used to be.
That's why I do that, because I know what you want, and then you're gonna come to me later on, and it's gonna be a wrap.
No, because I'm not conforming to you, sweetheart. Like you're gonna conform to this box right here. That's what you're gonna do.
But I have never done that.
Conform to. We drinking to conform into the box.
Listen, so many women say that, but trust me, it don't always go down like that.
Power in the tea, boo.
Yes, Tamara, dad is
Wow.
very petty. Yes, I know your dad for a long time. He is
Yes, I
He
am
is-
petty.
petty with a capital P.
I admit it though. I own it up. I own up
Own
to
your
it.
shit. Own your
Yes,
shit.
I own my shit.
Own
I am
your-
really petty. But I'm only petty when you give me a reason to be petty. Is that not true?
No, I don't have to give you. No, see, listen, yeah.
No, because I think your icebox heart got
Yeah,
you petty
yeah.
regardless.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You know, let me tell you something. If your shorty is your shorty, you riding for your shorty, and you and it's like she tell you to get off of her, but she really don't want you to get off of her, and you like, I buy. That lets me know, oh, you don't really give a fuck about me. Like you don't really. Like, you gonna let me walk out? All right, cool. I'm gonna walk out. So I'm
You get my nerves, right?
took you decades
Yep.
to learn the difference between somebody just wanting to show you love with sex, which I used to confuse for love all the time.
difference.
Between
Let's talk about that, Barbara.
that's
Right.
the thing. When
Yeah.
you know actual love, it's something, it's just something that's so remarkable.
Right.
Like nothing else compares. Like honestly, I thought for my whole life, I think I thought until about, no lie, about a year and a half ago, maybe, that I was in love like 6 times. Now I'm thinking like,
I just
is
like the
this
dick.
real love?
You just like the
Real
dick.
love. I've never had this before.
Right.
That is so amazing, you guys. I've never experienced that. So I really want to know what is the difference between that real, authentic, pure love. I know the fucking and all that good stuff, but like that real, like, yo, you my boo for real, son. Like, I'm really rocking.
You're like the little things, like you're sitting there, and my favorite things are when he gets the stuff that I like at the grocery store. Oh, Kevin, like, drink to Dave. Because Kevin knows, as a man, and Kevin knows Dave, he's like, as a man, you can see that, you can see it. But anyway, it's like little things that happen on an everyday basis. Like, you watch my shows. I'm watching him watch my shows, and I'm thinking that his eyes are going to roll so far back in his head, they're going to get stuck in his brain, and he has no decision going forward. But he's watching this shit. He's watching my shit. Or he's watching something I have no interest, and he doesn't care that, like, I don't even want to be there. I'm going off. I'm doing something else. I'm doing this. I'm talking to Sean. I'm talking to my sister. I'm watching, like, the 97 Netflix shows that I want. It's like all kind of little things. Don't get me wrong. I'm very vocal about the amazing physical passion. Like, our third date lasted 3 days.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So it's not a joke. Like, it's there. But the thing is, like, it's all the little things that make someone feel loved. It's like pickles, pretzels. Every plant since I moved in makes flowers. That's love. That's perfection.
Yeah, I think for me, if I wanted to say like what I can think of, two things as Barbara was talking. Like, so in the morning, when Kevin leaves for work, while I'm knocked out, drag out, drooling, he kisses he kisses me on my forehead. He must do that. And then he will get to work and he will send me a text, whatever is on his mind at the moment. He'll send me that little text, like, you know, good morning, my beautiful wife, whatever. So I wake up to a text of something really sweet, something really, I think that's love. I think that's love.
It's so dope.
Yeah.
I get like a good morning with the sunshine and
Yes.
A kiss. Yeah.
Because that shows, like, you know what? I'm thinking about you. And I just think a kiss on the forehead is just the most intimate, cutest thing you can do in a relationship.
Something else later. Like, you gonna kiss it, I'm gonna kiss it, we just gonna be kissing.
We're gonna be kissing. All of it.
Oh, I have to do that because I don't know if that's the last time I see or speak to you. Oh, honey.
But see, that is real.
Wait, y'all brothers? Harold and
does not know Kevin.
No, me and Wise are brothers from a brother and sister from another mother. That's his brother-in-law.
Because you and Kevin not the same. Like, like he over here like talking about this romantical shit, and you like, I bet you leave if you want to.
Right, that's real. But let me tell you, to me, what love is, right? Love is selflessness. It's
yes.
Giving of yourself for another person.
Oh my God, you better preach it.
That's sometimes saying, like, if you a sports fan, if your man is a sports fan or you're a sports fan and they're not into it, they'll sit there and watch that game. If you're into the opera or some shit like that, they'll sit there and watch the opera with you. I used to DJ back in the days and go to the studio and do stuff like that. My woman would go to the studio. She ain't into that shit. She don't care whatsoever about that. But you're there. And Sean calls me Icebox. This is true. But I said if I ever get married again, I even already have my wedding song picked out.
You do, bro?
Yes. Music from the Music Soul Child. As long as our love don't change, because to me, that's the epitome of what a relationship is about. If you listen, if we grow old together, we work together, we do it together. It's not us against each other, it's us together. That's what love is. Now, one day I might find it.
All right, put your Cash App up because you just said a sermon.
Okay.
So everybody, you put your cash because my brother is over here preaching it.
but that is real.
And the
So,
offering
like,
goes to.
Right.
like, I have dated.
something that you wake up and want to do.
Right.
Love is a verb. Love
Yes.
is a verb.
Love is a verb.
It
And
is
Kevin
not
said that
a
I don't.
It is a fucking verb. You get up, you
And
work,
see,
you
the next thing with the love,
love.
the next thing with the love is like
The love.
I make it a habit of telling the people I love that I love them. Because like my brother-in-law said, you never know if it's the last time you're gonna see that person. So
Yeah.
I tell people, I tell friends, I always tell my family,
Barbara
I love you.
is good for that too. I say Barbara, it took me a minute, but she is the friend that will say I love you at the end of the conversation. I think that is so dope. I love that about Barbara. Barbara is that friend. She don't care, girl, guy, whatever. She gonna tell you if she love you, I love you at the end of the conversation, every conversation, and I love that about her. I love that because it's true.
More often than not, I'm the first person because I got no shame about that. If I
Right.
love you,
Right, she really doesn't.
I got no shame about it because you don't have to love me back. I'm old enough to not give a fuck who loves me back.
Yes.
I'm too petty. I'm sorry. Like,
You about to piss me off,
Now,
bro.
this is something that can be petty.
well, hold up. Why am I going to piss you off? If a person, I ain't gonna say that they gotta bow down to me or anything like that. But love is love. If I go out of my way to show you that I care and I respect you, and you show any form of disrespect, you dismissed.
Here is a perspective.
Okay.
I see what you're saying, but it's not always about, I guess, disrespect. But you know, people raised off of survival and people raised off of love
Yep.
speak a whole different language. And they might love you, but they don't know how to show that because they was raised off of survival.
So they
rather than raised off of
What? What he said?
he said go survive somewhere else.
No, that's not true because I'm one of those people.
I was raised on survival.
I'm one of those people. I literally grew up in dysfunction. That's why I am a dysfunctional person who operates in trauma. Like if you was to tell me, all right, let's just use God for a second because I'm Team G, right? So if God was to show me, I'm gonna show you a man who's gonna love you. And I'm looking at it like, nah, that ain't it. Because my lenses, my perspective is not from a healed place yet. It's from a place of I'm still in dysfunction and trauma. So therefore, I cannot see past my own self to get to that next level because I'm not there yet. So and that's why I say also too, you know, so I'm not in a relationship because I just got shit, whatever. So for me, it's like I just gotta make sure I get all my stuff together. And I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with somebody, being in a relationship with you and helping you go through that, right? You're not supposed to be a crush. Like they're not supposed to be someone to help fix you because that's not what it is. But a supporter. But like if I'm in a relationship right now, and a guy says to me, oh, nah, like, you got to deal with your shit. For me, it's like, damn, B, like, I already feel like shit. So you making me feel like shit. So you ain't shit now because I ain't shit. So it's like, I don't want to rock with you. I don't want to rock with anybody. So it's like, it's nothing wrong. And especially as women, and, I really believe that a man helps flourish a woman, and in turn, that woman does whatever she needs to do for that man. But
all right, Jay, you putting up the Cash App. You about to preach it.
Men are not really watering the women's flower pots. Like we're flowers, we're delicate. We need to be spoken life into because what we give in return to you is beauty, is love, is X, Y, Z, is all these things that naturally come with us as women. So at the end of the day, it's like when a man is like, oh, but she's so fucking cold and hard. Well, what are you doing? Because you're supposed to flourish me. You're supposed to speak life into me. And in turn, I give you what you need.
I always thought that my mother was cold and hard. I always did until she was sick and she was dying. And then all of a sudden I see that my father, like my parents had this completely separate situation from their children. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, I got to see the woman that my dad knew. I never met her. I was 45 years old and she was a stranger. She was like my real birth mother and I was my real birth dad. But I had to stay with them for 2 months while she was dying. And all of a sudden I see these like two really tender, devoted people that brought things out of one another that I did not knew that they were capable of. And that I think like, I think that redefined what I thought about intimacy. Because of course, nothing in my life goes straight. So of course, my mom was dying of cancer while I'm going through the most acrimonious divorce in the history, like since fucking O.J. Simpson. And so, but
yeah,
I'm like,
not OJ.
these two. I never saw my parents take a shower together, but when my mom could no longer stand, my dad, who's not the warmest guy on the planet, my sisters have already logged off because they're mad now. But anyway, he's not the warmest guy on the planet. Every day, brought my mom into the bathroom because she could no longer stand on her own, and showered her. Picked her up.
I love that.
But the thing with that is everybody doesn't show love the same. Everybody doesn't show
They
affection
don't.
the same. But what I was saying before,
we weren't privy to their intimacy.
right? Their intimacy is for them, and people expect to see certain things from people that, like I always told Sean, certain things is just for you and your man, you and your woman. Everybody
That's
don't
why
need
I
to
stopped talking to you guys last night because you were asking me questions that that you were going over the boundaries. Believe it or not, yes, I have boundaries.
right, and that's the thing.
I love that.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And this is how I look at things. It's like everybody has to have their boundary, and the way we display love and affection, like even with your friends, sometimes the best way to be a friend is to tell your friend you're messing up.
I agree with that.
You have some friends that no matter what you do, you could be the most messed up person. I know some dudes that they're married. They're out there doing what they're doing on the side, and all their boys are being cheerleaders. Yeah. But they know his wifey is a good person. She does good stuff for him. That's not a true friend. That's their life is messed up, so they want your life to be messed up. And sometimes you're not there enough to understand, like, these people aren't really on my side. So, like, a few years ago, I had an operation. I was going to come home after I got out the hospital. I was going to come home, just be by myself and chill. My ex goes, no, you're coming to my house. I'm going to stay somewhere else so you can have my bedroom and stay there with my kids over there. A lot of people wouldn't have done that, but that's the love we have for each other. It's nothing sexual, but it's the connection as, like, we're family no matter what.
Right.
So I tell people all the time, it's different levels of love. It's different levels of how you care about one another. And like, even for my friends, like Sean and them, Sean knows I would do whatever for Sean. If she called me 4 o'clock in the morning and be, I need you to come uptown, so-and-so is going on, I'm there. We've
been in fights together.
We've been in there where people are wrestling and fighting, and we're like, whoa, what's going on? But to me, that's love. That's what friends do for each other. and
I
people,
agree with that. I agree with that. And I feel like healed people, because you talked a lot about healed people, bro. And I feel like healed people will operate in that. So I feel like your wife is definitely a healed person to even be able to say, you know what, this is my ex-husband. We got 5 kids together. He's down and out. He don't have nobody to take care of him. I'm gonna go. You can come to my house. Your kids is gonna take care of you, and I'm gonna go somewhere else.
but damn, did I have to be down and out?
But you have spinal surgery. Like, that's bad.
But sometimes people have to meet your level.
And
And
it's
people
true.
at
It's
that
true.
level,
But you also gotta like
right.
teach people. You also gotta like. Here's the thing about like love, right? So the things that we don't even know our own love language, right? How we expect for somebody to actually like love us. So I'm really big on that. Like my love language, I know what my love language is: quality time, physical touch, okay, and words of affirmation. Like that's my thing of love. If I don't tell somebody that's how I want to be loved and treated, they're never gonna do it.
How they gonna know though?
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, if you
But
don't
how would they? If you don't tell them and you don't know that's about yourself, how
Yeah.
you gonna
Well,
know?
find out what your love language is.
Exactly. There's tests out there, people. Take the love language test.
Yep.
Me and Kevin has took the love language test. Take it. It's very important,
Very,
because
very
you
important.
know how you are, you need that love, and we were able to, and I've spoken about this when we were talking about it on the last thing. We took it before marriage. During the pandemic, we found out all we needed to know before we say I do, what it is that we needed to do to love each other.
Yeah.
So, I think that's very important, to do that. I think that's very important to know how you get loved so you can put it on to somebody else, because their perspective of what love is might be so different. And again, you might be with somebody who is raised off of survival and don't know what love look like. But if you're able to tell them, then you're able to survive through your relationship.
But with that being said, you said you might be with someone that only knows about survival, right?
Who's raised off of survival, yeah.
Who's raised off survival.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you feel?
Here we go.
You know where I'm going.
Ask that question. Ask that question. Come on, Harry. I'm waiting.
How long do you feel you deal with that? How long do you feel like if I'm out here and I'm trying everything to show you I care, and I'm showing you the affection, and you know I have your back, and I'm giving my all to you. I'm only speaking for Wise, but in a short moment, if I see certain things, I'm out. I'm like, bye.
No,
That's
but
what I
listen,
saw.
if you're in, because you said a short moment, I'm like, oh Lord. If you're in it to win it, right? If you're in it because you love this person, you have to sometimes I feel like sometimes it's not like, you see JJ said, and then you see my husband said he's raised off of survival and love. Now, sometimes I feel like it's not that person's fault, right? They're product of their circumstance. So if they are trying, and sometimes they might fall, like Jay might, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jay. Sometimes you might get somebody be like, listen, this is what you're doing, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, okay, I didn't realize, but you recognize that you're raised off of survival or whatever like that. And you're trying, but sometimes you might revert back.
You have
because
to
that's
learn.
all you know.
But yeah,
And that's an unlearned behavior. Like you said, you have to unlearn that behavior.
Something
You
new.
don't have to fight that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Fight it.
Yes. Yeah, you don't have to fight it
Well,
though.
help.
Fight.
Go get help. Yes. Therapy.
I mean, I went to a trauma. Like, I had some serious, like, CPSTD trauma. Complex.
Okay.
Stand up.
And I went to a trauma
was
therapy for 3 years.
How many years?
Because there's a lot of things like I don't ever talked to anybody, and I only even told my sister about like the level of trauma.
Wait, Barbara, how many years were you in therapy? I didn't hear that part.
I was in therapy for 3 years. At one point, I was in therapy 3 times a week. I felt like a burn victim.
Lord.
Yeah, like no lie. It felt like somebody was literally peeling my skin off for 45 minutes 3 times a week. And I never did that. Now, mind you, I'm like 48 years old at this point. And I'm like, I'm going to do this. And it changed who I was. Like, none of you knew me then. None of you.
Right.
And I was a completely different person. Like, I actually do know intimately very few people that did know me then. Because the kind of shit that I ate every day prior to those moments, I don't eat that no more. And that's like part of the perspective, because around like a year into it, the chronic mama's boy who only liked to have sex a couple of times a month and, whatever, he was like, this therapist isn't doing you any good. You don't listen anymore. And I was like, okay, new game plan. Keep the therapist, ditch your ass.
I'm gonna drink to that, Barbara, because let me tell you something.
I got nothing left.
So that therapy was real, though.
I filled my cup because that's the kind of day I was having.
Okay.
But
my boss has told me every day this month she's done something fucked up every day. And every time I've told her about it, she's like, well, see, that's what happens when you schedule a vacation in May.
Listen.
You schedule what?
A vacation.
In May. Because she scheduled a
But Sean,
yes.
This speaking about that with the trauma and all that, right? I'm gonna take it back to our Wednesday sessions in our old school,
right.
Richard Green.
Yes.
When you're talking about love and perception of love, do you remember the conversation about if a nigga don't beat you, he don't love you?
Can do
yes.
it.
Right.
Yes.
So that was somebody that thought somebody had to beat her ass to love her.
But I tell you right now, she's not even with him no more.
Oh, I know that. But I'm just saying.
Not with him no more. That was her perception then, and she changed that perception. And I hope therapy got her through that. Because I said bye. No, but you know what? Like I hope therapy changed her perception, because of the simple fact is that no, like beating don't means you love them. Like it's just it's crazy. But you know what? It's so many people who was raised like that.
Right.
Raised seeing their mama and daddy fighting all the time. Now they think they gotta fight all the time, and it's so bad, because that is also a learned behavior. Because I know my mom was in a domestic violence situation with my younger sibling's father, and 2 of my sisters were in domestic violence situations.
Mm-hmm.
Because we watched my mother be in a domestic violence situation. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's just, we don't realize, we were talking about this in a meeting yesterday, how when you're a small child to a grown-up, it's in direct connect to how you were raised. Your adulthood is in direct connect to your childhood and how you was raised. So some people are still grown children in 30 and 40-year-old bodies, still trying to, fill out what they need to fill out to, grow and know what love is and know what different things are, as an adult.
That's valid, Sean. Talk about that.
Sean, love is
About to go in.
when you come home from a date
Hello.
and your man is waiting at the door.
Get off my phone. Get off the StreamYard right now. He's talking about when somebody went on a date with him. We talked about this. Somebody went on a date with him and his siblings. Okay. And when we dropped her off, her man was in a wife beater waiting for her and snatched her up. No. And we was like,
can't do it.
What is going on? And we just let grown people be grown people. He didn't bust her ass, so we just let her be who she was, and that was the end of that. Like we didn't
let her ass beat though.
She didn't, but he did. Like, you know, get in here, get in here, get in here. No, first of all, you shouldn't be out on a date and your man is going to be waiting for you in a wife beater. You're dumb.
But you know, it's but the situation is, like I said, love is a very tricky, sensitive thing, but
exciting.
But love is a beautiful thing, and when you have love on any level, it's beautiful. But
when you love correctly,
right? But when you can't let love control you, and love doesn't mean you can control you. Right, and love doesn't mean you can control anyone else. You know my big word. I'm big on respect. Everything is about respect.
That's your brother.
Respect is sexy as fuck.
Respect, yeah.
Respect is everything. So if you don't respect me, if I have to, I'm gonna respect my woman to the utmost. We're not arguing outside in the street. I'm never laying my hands on her.
Ain't nobody playing with that.
I'm never laying my hands on her. We're gonna talk things out. We don't go to bed arguing and all that nonsense. It's about respect, but respect is also allowing that person to be who they are, and that's where a lot of people also mess up. You're not allowing this person the freedom to be who they are. But now this is the twist. What if you can't deal with who they are?
So then
you got to be smart enough to walk away.
I'm real big on this.
Just like you watching couples therapy on Showtime.
Huh?
Yeah, I watched
couples therapy on Showtime.
Nah, I can't. I'd never watch that.
Couples therapy, you said?
Yeah, but the thing, like, the biggest thing about, we need to normalize the whole, you can go to bed when you're mad. Go to bed. I need time.
I can't do it.
I need to get my head out of my own ass before we finish this argument. Give me time.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Let me sleep. Let me sleep in the guest room for a night, maybe two. Give me air. Lots of air.
See, you can get time.
In the middle of the night and bang me like a screen door in a hurricane. Well, nobody's going to stop you, darling. But give me time.
You can have your time. You need to tell me you need time.
Right.
I always be
traumatized over here. Okay?
I am the world's biggest crybaby because it's going on in my head. When it's not going on in my head, I won't cry for like a month.
But it's like Josh said.
Movie, I'll watch your dog get hit by a truck. No tears.
Nah, let me tell you something. My name is JJ, and I'm very traumatized, and I'm not proud of it, but I'm healing. Okay, I'm in therapy for that. Okay, if you don't tell me that you need time,
right?
Someone like me who has abandonment issues, people just leaving you just because they're punishing you. I'm taking that. I can't sleep because then it makes me feel like, oh my God, what I do this time? Like, what the fuck? Like, they're not coming back. Yeah, no. So it's like, I need you, of course, like if I'm in a relationship, once JJ is fully healed and complete and whole, then my perspective won't be that way. But I need to know that you need time, because we're not doing the guessing game and we're not doing the silent treatment.
Right.
And you know what? I'm a grown ass man. Hi, how are you?
No. The silent treatment is shit.
Yeah, like we're grown. Hi, we're grown. I'm a niece.
Wait. So the silent treatment. I'm not gonna lie, I'm the silent treatment queen. But I'm gonna explain why I'm the silent treatment queen.
Talk to us, honey.
I know why.
I need time. I'm the person. I need time. I need time, and it might not be all night, but like I'm wired weird when it comes to this stuff. So I do need time. If we're arguing, I need time, but we're not sleeping in different beds ever, unless we're ready to divorce. We're not sleeping in different beds, but I'm quiet because one, I need to reflect. I'm a very reflective person. So
Okay.
I'm like, I need time to reflect in my own head, right?
Mhm.
But depending on how the argument went, I'm also quiet because I don't want to tell you about your cross-eyed mother.
Right.
Like, so
And see, we had that conversation that we told Sean you can't be telling people about their cross-eyed mother. That's not nice. Because certain things you can't take back. You can't take that back.
I agree. That's
And
why
once you
I'm
say something
quiet.
about my mama, we got problems.
See, that's why I'm quiet, because
Right.
of the simple fact.
Yeah,
Kevin say he's glad his mother is dead.
Hurt people hurt. Hurt people hurt.
No, I agree. But that's why I don't say anything. I stay quiet, and I'm like, Sean, this ain't right. I've learned that, because there was times you could ask why. There was times I'm like, well, I said, and he be like
I said what I said. And he leaves.
Ma'am, that's not right. And I be like, oh, it's
Don't
not.
say that.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. But I'm so now my tactic is I'm quiet. I'm quiet. Give me that second. Give me that time to breathe. Give me that second to kind of, reflect and be not, I want to be nice. I want to be nice.
Great. As long as you
in
say
my older age, I want to be nice.
As long as you say we're good. Just say that. The little hole in my heart could be relaxed, a little thum thum thum.
Right, no, and we're not, and for me, we're not sleeping you're not sleeping in the guest room, because I'm gonna wake up in the morning and be like, in the middle of the night, get your ass upstairs, because we ain't playing this shit. Like, get your ass in the room. We're not playing this. You coming in the room with me, and we're gonna sleep, and that's gonna be that. You ain't gotta talk to me while you sleep.
No, if we are in a fight, I get insomnia. So I'm going to go in the other room where I won't sleep and watch Netflix until 4:00 in the morning. Like, I won't sleep.
Because of a fight?
Yeah. It's the worst.
Like,
The worst.
Let me tell you something. We get into a fight, I'm gonna be like this.
Listen, I don't fight. I seriously have. I don't fight. Any.
See, Kevin's actually my.
You don't fight.
No, I don't.
Kevin is my soulmate.
I really
Kevin, because he said he can't sleep. He said that's him. He can't sleep. It's true. It's true.
No, I seriously don't fight. I don't believe in that. I'm like, we're gonna have a discussion. If we can't discuss it, like whatever.
Yeah, I don't fight either, as Rara may seem like I am or whatever, but like I actually don't fight. I'm not confrontational. It's when you get me that I'm confrontational.
I'm not confrontational either. I don't like confrontation, especially with the people I love.
Mm.
I don't like confrontation with the people I love. That will break my heart quicker than anything. Like, having to fight with somebody I love will break my heart. Right. I'm not a crybaby. But if me and Barbara one day was to fall out, that would break my heart. Like, and it don't matter, guy, girl, whatever. Like, if I love you, I cannot be in a confrontation with you at all.
Very true. That's very true. And I have to second on that. However, I told people at my church, I told actually my best friend, There are certain things that I don't know, and it's good that I don't know because I said I lose respect for people very, very quickly. So don't cross that with me. But if we cool and I love you and I rock with you, we good. Just don't cross that boundary and we straight. That's it, mama.
And with that arguing thing, I'm like that also because us quiet people,
Y'all.
You'll burn down your house.
yes, yes. I'm not gonna lie. I get very, very, very disrespectful. So
That's why I'm quiet. That's why I'm
I'll rather
quiet.
just I'll bring out everything I ever felt. Like if I thought your toes were crusty, I'm telling everything now. Like
when I
cut people off too.
I'm really hurt.
Kevin.
That are so absolutely vicious, and I know when they leave in my mouth that they can never come back.
If I ever talk about your cross-eyed mother, I have in my head that my bag is packed and I'm leaving.
You have to, because if you talked about my mama, you gotta leave.
Well, I'm gonna give you. Okay, so here's the thing about me, right? Like, out of my group of friends, I've always been quiet as a kid. My brother's more like rah rah in your face, butterfly, whatever the case may be. I'm more like chill, like leave me alone, don't fuck with me, like we're cool.
You were never allowed to speak.
Give me a drink, huh?
Because you were never allowed to speak.
Oh, I was that person who just was never allowed to speak. Golden child. I was more like, whatever. So, yeah, like it's just how it was. And so for me, like I have friends around me who are just very much so like this. Sometimes I'm like, shut the fuck up, like no one cares, right? But it's like they all know, like, don't piss Jay off. Because I'm not gonna be loud with you. I'm just gonna be real sharp with you, and then I'm just gonna dismiss you and not really care about you. That's where like I lose respect for people immediately, because like if I don't care, like once I don't care, I just don't care. Like I just don't care about anything. Like I don't care about your existence. I don't care about the day you were born on your birth certificate. I don't care if you are bleeding in your mouth. I don't care if you tripped over in the sidewalk and you almost got hit by a bike. I don't care if somebody stole your bike.
She's on a bike.
I don't care about anything. I don't care. I just don't be caring. Like people tell me like, yo, you cold. Yeah, you got me to that point where I just don't care. So like your existence means nothing to me. We could be in the same place and you could be getting jumped and I don't care if you're getting jumped. As long as you don't get killed. Okay, but you could be getting jumped. I don't want to kill you get jumped. Good.
What happens if they get killed?
R.I.P.
That's what I'm saying.
R.I.P.
And see, once again, Sean, to tell you, I'm like you just said, we could be in the same place. I could be, me and Sean was together. I walked past a girl that I was dating. Like, well, we used to talk. Like, she didn't even exist. It was like just air. And she was like, how you doing, Wise? Did somebody talk to me? I just kept it pushing.
See, that's us. But see, there are people, there's different perspectives, because there's people who think that you can be friends with exes.
Oh, no.
If we broke up and we don't have any children, you died.
If I saw you,
you died. And I was at the funeral when I was crying when we was breaking up. That's why I was crying. But, as far as, if we have kids, of course, I'm going to have to talk to your silly ass. But why does it tell you? Like, let me tell you, I've dated a guy. He's the only guy I've ever dated at work. And I was like, I'll never do that again. He was upset with me because, we was on a fire drill and he wanted to talk about our relationship. And I'm like, I'm working. Like, are you serious? And he was like, oh, this is a family matter. And I'm looking straight like on my post, like, I'm not doing this. And then after that,
phrase in human history is, we gotta talk.
I hate it.
What?
Why do we have to talk in the middle of a fire drill while I'm making sure kids don't get hit by a car? Are you freaking
Because
kidding
his
me?
feelings was hurt.
So be hurt.
You know why.
Well, then someone should tell him that the female gonad is larger and more durable. So his poor little gonads should go home and get iced up and get on with his petty little life.
He was a little sensitive because how could I put this politely?
Like,
Those donuts were less than durable.
He had a little,
Look what Kevin said. He's a bitch.
that's what I was going to say. He had a lot of bitch in his blood. And
what did he say? Bitch assness? Yeah, there we go.
and if
He
you
said
didn't
what?
Did he? Did he say I don't allow no bitch assness?
bitch asked this, and he had a lot of that in his blood. And the thing was, he was a guy that felt he was in a certain position, so she had to play a certain position. And like, no, you don't do that. Like, I don't care if you're the Pope.
You
ain't
already
gonna-
know me.
like,
I
come
don't
on.
care if I was dating Barack Obama. I'm not bowing down to nothing.
Yeah,
That's
we're
not,
controlling.
I'm sorry.
that's
is
not
this
who I
a
am.
presentation, but did Obama get like incredibly fine after leaving the White House?
No, let me tell you something.
Baby.
Well, I ain't looking at Obama like that, but you know,
Let me do this.
Michelle is
Nobody
one lucky
was
gal.
Michelle on a different.
Proverbial hammock.
Michelle look good. We could talk about her.
They're really
That
a
looks
beautiful
good, too.
couple. They're a beautiful couple.
Beautiful.
She's like, I like them both. Jackson, like, I like them
That
both.
hairline,
They
that
both look good.
that little face. Okay.
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
Hour and a
it
half.
is now 9:01. We've exceeded our allowable limits.
This was a good conversation, babe.
This was a great
good
conversation.
conversation. Upcoming is mental health and pride.
Like pride, like personality pride.
Like gay pride.
No, like June is Pride Month. And we will have a mental health and self-care. We'll be in 2 weeks, and in 4 weeks, we will have our Pride show. So
We will see you guys in 2 weeks.
I love it.
That's
And
beautiful. As always, it was a pleasure, ladies.
It was
Yeah.
a pleasure.
this was awesome.
It was.
We'll see you guys in
Love.
2 weeks.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I can't believe the response that we get. This is utterly spectacular.
Yes.
And
We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Hold up, before we go, I'm gonna send my daughter to therapy. She'll be all right.
Yes, we're gonna pay. We're gonna everybody send a cash app to Tamara so she could go to therapy. They're hearing her dad trying to be a dom.
Mara, if you need a referral, your father will send you my number. I will find the right person for you.
Yeah.
We love
Or I
you.
will refer you to my very own trauma therapist since you are now traumatized.
Funny.
All right. Good night, ladies. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.